I'm gonna be muting everybody now. Shabbat shalom. So Shabbat shalom to everybody, and then also, all right, let's see if we can even do this tonight.
And Shabbat Shalom to everyone who's live streaming with us.
Well, we'll see. Where are we starting?
We're starting with Shalom Aleichem 142.
I hope everybody can see that.
All right, I hope this works.
We're only a minute or two behind here.
We're considering all the technology at hand. This is really good.
So, if Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome.
Oh, let's get you on. I didn't turn this. So many little things to think about.
Yeah. Thank you for thinking about them.
Yeah, thank you. We begin on page 142. If you're on our Zoom call, it's there right for you. And this may take me a little bit more time to move through the service, and maybe we need to get a second host up to turn pages if we can do this. But we'll see how it goes tonight, and then we'll make some decisions about the future.
Fantastic.
If you're on our Temple live stream, or hopefully the Facebook is still working, if you go to our synagogue website, into the calendar, either in this Friday night, I didn't check, but this Friday night hopefully has a link to the Siddur, to the online Siddur, or certainly from 2 weeks ago I know it was there. And once you have found that online Siddur, you should bookmark it so that you don't have to rely on any link. It'll just be there for you. Page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem,
Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shuvchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
So Facebook is definitely working because I'm getting lots of
that's
comments
awesome.
there. So let's see here. So we have Larry Biederman, Shabbat Shalom to you, and
Shabbat
Esther,
Shalom.
and Carrie, Shabbat Shalom, and Josh, Shabbat Shalom, Andrea, Shabbat Shalom from Andrea, Gary, and Solomon, and Viana. Shoshana. Oh, it can't get onto the TBE website. Interesting. I don't know why. No, it's
on, right?
It's on. So there's a problem with the TBE website. So hopefully Facebook won't let us down. And Shabbat Shalom, Joy. And who else do we have? Let's see. We got a lot of people here too. We got Abby, Shabbat Shalom, and Ann, and Ava, and Barbara, and the Birchers, and Betsy, and David, and Sonia. If it only has one person's name, I'm typically only reading one person's name here. So,
but we're
Jennifer,
assuming you might be with your family.
Jody and John and Judy, Shabbat Shalom. Catherine, Shabbat Shalom. Larry, Laura, Margaret, Marty, Patricia, Patty and Bill, Paul and Judy, Ruth and Trina and Ariel, and the Humes, and let's see, we're getting chats going on. Yes, you're in Zoom. Zoom is working fine. Yes, it's Facebook that sometimes gives us some issues, but thankfully Zoom is working fine.
Looks like maybe Facebook is working fine and the web stream is not.
Yes. Okay. Oh, and I got text coming in. Shabbat Shalom, Ronnie, and Shabbat Shalom, Art and Karen, and Danny, and okay, and Bobby and David. Shabbat Shalom to you. So many folks with us.
It's wonderful.
It's really fantastic. We're glad that we can be The amazing thing with technology, you can be in more than one place at one time. So
Right, exactly.
yes, page 138, and now I got to remember to do this guy too. There we go, page 138. This is crazy.
A lot of
Too many
things to be balancing. It's not 3 balls juggling, it's way more. Dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 Bnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 Bnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, Ishli'anu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, L'shemu tiferet v'letehillah. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Bnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Bnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki hi lekor habracha, Bnei rosh mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machshava tefila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Bnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Bnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki va'orech u'mi'ori, uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Bnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Bnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Bnei Shabbat, Mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Bnei Shabbat, Mekabela.
And we're getting some more.
We got a text from Deborah and Ralph and Fern saying that the live stream is great.
Yes.
So, sorry about that. So that's good news. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Okay. Great. Shabbat Shalom, Mark. And Shabbat Shalom, Eric. And Shabbat Shalom, Paul and Dempsey family. And Shabbat Shalom, Nancy. And Shabbat Shalom, Art and Karen. And Danny. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you all. I don't know if we have more people now on our Zoom call, but Shabbat Shalom if you recently joined us. About 27 people on the Zoom call, and people all over the place. It's very good. We continue on page 140. Page 140. As we continue to sing to Shabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי אסור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך
We continue on page 120, 121, and I, in fact, am not going to flip back either.
That's fair. It's a lot of flipping.
We'll let you take it away, Cantor.
Okay. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, shel Shabbat.
Amen. And Shabbat Shalom to my mom and dad. Who else is joining us? Shabbat Shalom, Marilyn, and to Carol. Shabbat Shalom to
and
all
to
of you.
Deb Child, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
And to Peter and Betty and Johanna and Marcy and Barbara. Shabbat Shalom to you.
Yikes, I'm not getting used to this. All right.
We continue on page 144, the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, b'yamad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala, uvizman kariv, ve'imeru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevorach, le'alam olam me'almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh, v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה, ואמרו Amen.
Page 146. And if you're able, please rise for the Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue reading together at the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. And we continue at the top of page 151. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha
ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
And on page 155, love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God, who led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. And it wasn't until just a few weeks ago, of course, that I ever thought to think about this particular reading and prayer, the way this is translated, the Ve'ahavta, the way this is translated as the reminder to not leave them outside of our gates and doors, because we'll be spending so much of our time inside our homes. I hadn't really ever thought about it in the same way as, of course, we all do now. Page 158, Mi Chamocha.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele That was a very pretty introduction. Thank you. Deborah Child said that the online Siddur is equivalent to the thin book, so the lower page number is what we need. I don't know.
Okay. Page 160. At the bottom there.
Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
Lots of pages to turn.
Lots of pages. But we're all on the same
62.
page. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Okay, so I'm not going to face the ark like I usually do for the Amidah because somebody's got to turn your pages on Zoom. So
you're going to tell them about how special the Gavur Road is this week?
Yeah, I am.
So exciting.
So we're going to be praying out loud together, typically as we do from page 164 through page 170, and then I'll sort of go slowly, not too slowly, through the rest of the Amidah on the Zoom pages. I'm going to pray the Hebrew as I typically do, so I'm going to turn the pages as I would. Obviously, we're not all going to pray at the same pace, and I'm sorry for that, but that's, I think, how I'll do it this week. Maybe think of something else next week, but for this week on the Zoom, at least, you'll be able to go through the whole thing if you'd like. So let me get it ready. Okay, and then you'll notice on page 168 when we get there in the growth, we will be changing, although we might be wondering why, considering the snow today, changing the insert from the winter insert that we've been saying all winter long to the summer insert, Morid Hatal. So just be prepared for that as we approach page 168. If you're able, as I've been saying now for the last few weeks, if you're able, please rise as you would in the sanctuary. You are in your sanctuary, and so I invite you to rise with us. Page 164.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia. Morid hatal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed. Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech nofalim ve'rofei cholim. Umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'gevurot, umido melach, melech memid umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
page 663, which, again, I'm also not going to look for.
It's a long click. This text is sung during the festival season, during Passover, as well as Sukkot and Shavuot. And it says, for blessing and not for the curse, for plenty and not for scarcity, for life and not for death. And it felt like the right text tonight during this time of where we hope for blessing and plenty and life. Livracha velo liklala, lisova velo lerazon, livracha velo liklala. Livracha velo liklala, lisova velo lerazon, livracha velo liklala. Lechaim velo lemavet, lechaim, lechaim velo lemavet, lechaim, lechaim, livracha velo liklala, lesova velo lerazon, livracha velo liklala. Livracha, livracha, livracha.
If you are thinking of someone that you'd like to add to our list for healing, if you would like to either text me or put that name in the chat box if they're not included on our community list. We are particularly mindful of Debbie Pisrak, Joanne Blumberg, Valentina Wolfson, Hillary Handwerger, Bridget Ford, Joel Berger, Margaret Leslie, Sydney Usum, Barry Hopkins, Buddy Tepper, Carrie Thorpe, Carol Morgan, Dick Jordanson, Melissa Dorfman, Steve Conway, Milton Child, Sherilyn Ford, Robert Morgan, Shmuel Natan Ben Avra Yaakova, Lauren Orzak, Aaron Scott, Jennifer Kinser, Harold Schumacher, Valerie Carey, Sharon Israel, Sima Kroll, Debbie Weiner, Dahlia Bat Natan Valea, Bobby Lewis, Nicole Levine, Lance Mermel, Rachel Mermel, Judy Silverman, Karen Stairs, Alan Dorfman, Rosalind Pollins, Miwa Lewis. We add to those names John Wallace, Carol Cohen, Harold Schumacher, Melissa Safferstein, Don Allen, Holly Makama, Bev, is it Pagan, and the whole Pagan family, Kat Downs. And of course, if not for healing of our bodies, then healing of our souls for all of us, really. For healing of our spirits. As we found new ways of being in the last few weeks, yes, but still, it's not the way we want to live. And I'm sure that continues to take its toll on all of us. So for all of us, and really for the entire world, as we move through this together. So we have a special Torah portion this week.
We sure do.
Yeah.
On the Shabbat during Passover, we tend to read from the book of Exodus, but not the Song of the Sea like you might think. We're reading from the section where Moses has to go back up the mountain with the 2 tablets that he carved for himself. And so I'm reading a small section from that part. After God tells him to carve the tablets, Moses carved 2 tablets of stone, like the first, and early in the morning he went up on Mount Sinai as the Eternal had commanded him, taking the 2 stone tablets with him. The Eternal came down in a cloud and stood with him there, proclaiming the name Eternal. The Eternal One passed before him and proclaimed, Adonai, Adonai, a God compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in kindness and faithfulness, extending kindness to the 1,000th generation, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin, yet not remitting all punishment, but visiting the iniquity of parents upon children and children's children upon the 3rd and 4th generations. Moses hastened to bow low to the ground in homage. Vayifsol shnei luchot avadim karishonim vayashkem Moshe baboker vayal el har Sinai kasher ציווה אדוני אותו, ויקח בידו שני לוחות אבנים, וירד אדוני בענן, ויתייצב עמו שם, ויקרא בשם אדוני, ויעבור אדוני על פניו, ויקרא אדוני, אדוני, אל רחום וחנון, ערך אפיים ורב חסד ואמת, נוצר חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע וחטאה, ונקה לא ינקה, פוקד עוון אבות, על בנים ועל בני בנים, על שלישים ועל ריבעים. וימהר משה ויקוד ארצה וישתחו.
Thank you, Cantor Hayut.
Thank you. So the reason why I chose this section, if you don't mind, just
Please.
a moment. So those of you in your Seder who did Who Knows One, Echad Miodea, the last of the Who Knows numbers is 13. And it's supposed to be the 13 attributes of God. And that is here, Adonai, Adonai El Rachum V'Chanun, the one that's Adonai, Adonai, a God compassionate and gracious, slow to anger. I thought it was kind of cool that we sang that probably as late as recently as last night, maybe. So.
Thank you, Cantor Hayut. One week ago, as I was preparing for Shabbat, a reporter contacted me. She wanted to know how the coronavirus crisis was affecting our community and specifically how it was going to affect our Passover observance. I shared with her the way that we have pivoted online as I sit in an empty sanctuary. I told her about the Seder that my family and I hosted last night. And I told her about creative ideas our professional team had thought about and ways our lay leaders were helping us. The reporter then asked me, "Are there things you want your congregation to learn from this experience?" I suggested that we should learn about our resilience, that we are stronger than we know, and also that we're more vulnerable than we like to think. I also mentioned an article I had read the day before on MLive. On April 2nd, Steve Marwoski wrote an article titled, 48% of hospitalized COVID-19 patients in Washtenaw County are black, health department says. The article discusses the coronavirus crisis inside communities of color and specifically in the African American community. African Americans make up 12% of the population in Washtenaw County, but 48% of the hospitalizations. In an Oakland Press article from April 7th, we learn that according to data gathered and reported daily by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, over 40% of Michiganders that have died from the coronavirus are African American, a racial demographic that only makes up 14% of our state's population. And across our country, as of yesterday, African Americans made up 34% of deaths from coronavirus, but make up only 13% of the American population. I told the reporter who contacted me that I hope this data opens our eyes even more to the stark reality that we continue to live with as a society defined by racial inequality, inequity, and injustice. That even as we pretend, and the words actually came out of my mouth just a few moments ago, even as we pretend that we're all in this together, some of us are more in this than others. As my interview began to wrap up, the reporter said to me, "I'm going to tell Steve what you said about his article. He's been getting a lot of flack for talking about race during this crisis," and my jaw just hung open. I was shocked, But of course, I shouldn't have been shocked that a reporter would be criticized for raising up this important issue. I hope that as we move into the unknown and uncertain future of the post-coronavirus world, we do more to fix the systematic racism of our society. But the willingness to fix, the intent to fix, also means that we must be asking ourselves, how are we benefiting from living in a racist society? And that question isn't meant to raise guilt, only to raise reality. If we deny how we benefit from racism, we will never be able to mend the brokenness of our country. There is a crisis in America, and it's been going on long before the coronavirus, since the founding of our country. It was 57 years ago that Abernathy, Shuttlesworth, and King were arrested in Birmingham, Alabama. They were arrested after defying an injunction against protesting on Good Friday. They sheltered in place in a Birmingham jail to fight the lethal virus of American racism. It was in that jail that Martin Luther King Jr. would write his famous words, his famous letter. He wrote directly to clergy who had criticized his efforts for equal rights. They had criticized him for coming from Atlanta and that he was an outside rabble-rouser. King writes, "I'm cognizant of the interrelatedness of all communities and states. I cannot sit idly by in Atlanta and not be concerned about what happens in Birmingham. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Never again can we afford to live with the narrow Minha Mitzrayim, from the narrowness, the provincial outside agitator idea. Anyone who lives inside the United States can never be considered an outsider anywhere within its bounds." He compels us with his words. "I must make two honest confessions to you, my Christian and Jewish brothers. First, I must confess that over the past few years I have been gravely disappointed with the white moderates. I have almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block in his stride forward toward freedom is not the white citizens' counselor or the Ku Klux Klanner, but the white moderate, who is more devoted to order than to justice, who prefers a negative peace, which is the absence of tension, to a positive peace, which is the presence of justice, who constantly says, 'I agree with you in the goal you seek, but I cannot agree with your methods of direct action,' who paternalistically believes he can set the timetable for another man's freedom, who lives by a mythical concept of time and who constantly advises the Negro to wait for a more convenient season. I guess coronavirus isn't the right time to bring up race in America. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. Lukewarm acceptance is much more bewildering than outright rejection." King's words are as relevant today as they were 57 years ago. And as the African American community struggles with coronavirus, where in Chicago 70% of those infected are African American, we need to ask, what is wrong with our country? What is the real virus that runs through the blood of our national body? As public officials and others have responded to the raising of racial issues around COVID-19, we're hearing plenty of rationalizations. African Americans suffer from higher levels of diabetes, higher levels of obesity, and higher levels of other underlying conditions. Yes, but this happened somehow. These conditions do not exist in a vacuum. Dr. Benjamin Weston, director of the medical services for the Milwaukee County Office of Emergency Management was quoted in a recent Politico article. Quote, "A big reason why we see higher rates of COVID-19 in the Black community is the institutional, historical, currently ongoing issue of lack of resources and institutional and individual effects of racism. It certainly isn't coincidence why that community suffers the greater burden of the vast majority of diseases in our country." Nearly 1 month ago, I wrote to all the folks who were supposed to be joining us on our civil rights journey scheduled for the end of this month. I told them that we would be postponing and that we would find another time for the journey. But I'm going to share with all of us now the real purpose of the journey. Yes, it would have been moving to see the Equal Justice Initiative, to visit the memorial, to walk across the Edmund Pettit Bridge, to visit King's Church in Atlanta. But that wasn't the real reason we were going. The real purpose of our journey was to ask, how is institutionalized, systemic racism at play in our own town, in our own country, in our own state? And now the question must be, how can it be, according to American public media, that in Michigan, blacks are 3.8 times more likely to die of COVID-19 than their population share? Again, from King's letter. Human progress never rolls in on wheels of inevitability. It comes through the tireless efforts of men willing to be co-workers with God. And without this hard work, time itself becomes an ally of the forces of social stagnation. We must use time creatively, in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do right. Now is the time to make real the promise of democracy and transform our pending national elegy into a creative psalm of brotherhood. Now is the time to lift our national policy from the quicksand of racial injustice to the solid rock of human dignity. We've got the time. The question is, do we want the change enough? Are we willing to partner in new ways? Are we willing to call our congressional representatives? Are we willing to ally on Zoom? Are we willing to put our money where our mouth is? Are we willing to give up? If we are willing to give up so much to defeat COVID-19, what should we be giving up to defeat the racism that has led to the reality the African American community is suffering? Shabbat Shalom. We continue with the counting of the Omer. And I'm not going to move the Siddur online. If you have a Siddur, it's page 570. Page 570. And I'll go back here to our Omer counter. And grab and say, I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom Sheni Yamim LaOmer. Today is the second day of the Omer. I promise the magnets are there.
They are a little hard to see, but they are there.
Confirmation. All right. Let's go back to sharing. There we go.
Beautiful.
And I'm about to run out of battery, so we gotta.
Oh, all right. We'll do this quickly.
We're gonna have to speed it up a little bit. Please rise if you're able.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ונשתחווים ומודים. לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But these are the stars that light up the darkest night. These are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We include on our list for Shloshim Mark Ketchum. I think somebody else sent me.
I have a text here,
Yeah.
Spencer Steve.
Yes, but I don't think that's for Shloshim. At least I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry, your site list.
So if there's somebody else that recently passed away, if you could retext me that name, if you'd like me to say it. We are in the period of Shloshim for Tom Barber, Raz Mermel, James Bleimel, David Zeff, Barry Zweig, Michael Lavin, and Corinne Zabo. Our yard sites this week are for Spencer Steve, Irma Alexander, Miriam Barris, Donald Bleiberg, Jerome Boy, Janelle Fain, Ernest Gentile, Edith Goldman, Max Hart, Alan Horowitz, Helen Hume, Trina Jacobs, Mary Jadlika, Esther Kessler, Shirley Londy, Cynthia Margolis, Ida McNichol, Norma McKeedon, Maurice Marion, Annette Miller, Ethel Parent, Lily Savashinsky, Alvin Scodell, Alexander Zabo, Marcy Walker, Ida Weinberg, and Julius Young, Bob Zimmerman. And I'll just check here, too. And we add Mel Silkowski, Ken Pagan, Mary Ellen Hennessy, Isaac Grossman. We continue Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Page 598. Please rise if you're able. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei kudasha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'ramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be forever a blessing.
Amen.
I'm going to pull us out of...
Well, we're doing Kiddush and Motzi, I assume. But I want to say that in light of your really powerful sermon, I think we should be singing Let My People Go as our closing song. What do you think?
I was going to say Avadim Hayinu.
That works too. And that is also in our prayer book if you wanted to. If you have a prayer book, it's on page 665, but the words are super easy.
Why don't we lift our glasses, though, our Kiddush cup, offer our prayer over our wine. At the very beginning of everything, when God created the heaven and the earth, God made a separation between the sea above and the sea below, and God planted plants on the earth, and put the sun and the moon and the stars in the sea above, and put the fish and the sea monsters in the sea below, and the flying creatures in the sea above, and then created all of the creepy crawly things crawl all over the earth. Then finally created us human beings and said to us, now it's time to rest. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikraei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim.
L'chaim.
We don't have any matzah with us. So we'll leave it to you to make motzi if you're going to eat next. That's not a big deal since we're all not eating together. So
Avadim hayinu hayinu ata b'nei chorin Avadim 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 hayinu ata b'nei chorin
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
And I'm going to unmute everybody. I got 4% left on my battery. If you are streaming on your computer, you should turn that